Hey, welcome back. Lindsay here. I have had a lot of people coming to me asking me a lot of things about the hardware status when buying a PC. So I thought I would make this video and hope it is helpful to you all so I don't have to keep answering the same questions. In a computer, you have all sorts of hardware from sound card, Wi-Fi, graphics card, RAM, CPU, hard drive, or disk drive. But we will discuss some of the others in a later video and focus on the CPU in today's video. Share this video on your social media if you like computers and want to know more about hardware. A CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. CPU is in all computers, and without it, your PC won't function. You will also find a CPU in things like smartphones or thermostats. A CPU works by processing and executing instructions and acts like the brains of your device. While the CPU is of critical importance, it can only function alongside other hardware. The CPU sits in a special socket located on the motherboard. The CPU is separate from the RAM and the graphics card. A CPU fetches the instructions from the RAM, decodes what the instructions actually is, and then executes the instructions using relevant parts of the CPU. In modern systems, the CPU acts like the ringmaster at the circus by feeding data to specialized hardware as it is required. For example, the CPU needs to tell the graphics card to show an explosion because you shot a fuel drum, to tell the solid-state drive to transfer an office document to the system's RAM for quicker access. When buying a PC, you will see a number with a GHz, also known as gigahertz, which represents the CPU's clock speed. The gigahertz effectively denotes how many instructions a CPU can handle per second, but that's not the whole picture regarding performance. When comparing the same product family or generation of CPUs, then you mainly only need to look at the gigahertz to determine what is a good CPU. And the higher the gigahertz in that generation, the better the CPU. But remember, a 2010 3 gigahertz processor will give less speed than a 2020 2 gigahertz processor. When choosing a CPU, you need to ask yourself, what are you going to use the PC for? Gaming, editing, streaming, lots of multitasking, or simply coding or checking social media and news only? Once you know what you're buying, you then need to choose what type of CPU based on what you're using it for. For example, in my opinion, an AMD is known to be better for gaming and cheaper to buy than an Intel CPU, but Intel is better for everyday use like surfing social media and news. Once you know that, then it's time to choose what generation of CPUs you want. There's lots of choices out there, like with Intel there is 8th and 9th generation. For example, an AMD A series or Ryzen generations. The higher the generation and gigahertz, the more expensive the CPU will cost. If you are not a hardcore gamer, video editor, or streamer, then you don't need to spend more than $250 for a CPU. You can cut costs by using the latest CPU generation, but not the latest hardware. When it comes to Intel, you can determine their generation by the product name. For instance, the Core i7-6820HK is an older 6th generation chip, while the Core i5-10210U is a newer 10th generation chip. AMD does a similar thing with its Ryzen CPUs. The Ryzen 5 2500X is a 2nd generation CPU based on its new Zen Plus core design, while the Ryzen 9 3950X is a 3rd generation CPU. Today, we are seeing that the CPU isn't as important for overall system performance as it once was. As we move to the graphics card and focus on 4K graphics, but it's all a major role in the response and speeds of your computing device. Gamers will generally find a benefit from higher gigahertz, while more serious work work, such as CAD or video editing, will see an improvement from a higher CPU core count. Thanks for watching. If you want to continue to see content from yours truly, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. I put out videos once a week on Sunday or Monday at 2 p.m. And you can continue the conversation with the community over at the Discord channel. And all other social medias will be in the description below. And don't forget to check out my dad's book in his honor. This has been Lindsay signing off. Peace.